Hello, I'm Davey, Havok.
And I'm Hunter Burgan.
And you're from AFI, and you are watching the Kerrang podcast.
So 4 years since the last sort of studio release.
Yeah.
Was it nice to sort of step away from things for a while? Or?
It's the regular process for us. I don't think it was very different than the past, so it wasn't really a different feeling. We recorded. Crash Love came out in 2009, and we toured on it through 2010. In 2012, Jade and I put out Bright Black Heaven, the second Black Audio record. And after touring on that a bit, we started writing the Burials record. And as soon as we were ready to record, we were. It takes a moment usually to get us to a place where we're all happy with what we've created.
Yeah, because there's all sorts of music scenes, evolving and stuff. Is there anything you kind of tapped into for sort of inspiration this time around?
No, not really. We don't really look directly to anything for inspiration. We've been making music and listening to music as long as we've been alive, really, most of us in the band, and been making music for well over half our lives. So when we're writing, we're creating music, we don't look directly elsewhere for inspiration, but we're constantly inspired by different forms of art, and that was the case with Burials. There are many different inspirations that were all subconscious and indirect.
Yeah. Tell us about the album title. Is it saying goodbye to things in the past, or is it?
No, actually, though it has many meanings. There's some people looked at it as a means of moving on and hopefulness and positivity and saying goodbye to things in the past, and saying goodbye lends a sort of positive spin on it, I feel, it doesn't really speak of that. It's not a hopeful record. It does speak of closure, of endings, but less of closure.
What kind of endings are you talking about?
Brutal endings, unexpected endings, some forced silences, endings that result from betrayals and result in a lack of sense of self and a change of self, and that being an ending, and endings that result from panic and anxiety, and the anxieties and panics that are a result of those endings. It's multi-layered. The Burials stack on top of each other, like bodies.
Right. It's quite a cathartic album for you personally.
Personally, yes.
What do you do when you do these kind of whistle-stop tours?
We're working for most of it. I'm hoping to go see some musicals tonight, and we went shopping immediately.
Just jet-lagged. Extremely jet-lagged.
Straight to Selfridges.
Right.
It's true.
Yeah. How do you cope with jet lag?
On this short of a trip, you just don't.
You can't.
Yeah, just coffee.
Yes.
A lot of coffee.
Wore through it.
Yeah.
And you're inarticulate in interviews and spaced out.
Do you feel like your eyeballs are kind of covered in cotton wool when you wake up?
My vision feels alright.
Yeah, I just feel completely like I'm having some sort of out-of-body experience right now.
It's my mental clarity that is blurred.
Yeah. You mentioned musicals. Which one do you fancy seeing tonight?
I'd like to see Les Mis.
Right.
I've seen Mormon. I saw Mormon when it previewed in New York, when actually I was doing Broadway, and it's one of the best shows I've ever seen, so I'd like to see that again as well.
There's like Team America, and there's always things where they've branched out into musical numbers.
Yeah.
Is this the complete sort of package?
They're so wildly talented, and the show, I really feel, is revolutionary. I think it's such an important show, and I think that it's historic, and that people will look back to it as something that happened in our era that was groundbreaking, and so forward thinking, and as the satire is so thoughtful and so poignant, and the commentary is so well spoken in the context of the musical, where the songs are great, and the storyline is great, and nothing is forced, and it's called Book of Mormon, but they're not simply attacking Mormonism. They're attacking all of organized religion, and antiquated thinking, and doing so in such a modern way to go from what they do with cartoons, which involves a lot of music. I was told that the boys initially their passion was musicals,
Mhm.
which you could see
Oh,
in their shows when they had that element of song, and they're great songwriters and they're great lyricists and they're great satirists, and it's such an important show. When I saw it in previews in New York, I truly felt that I was in the very, very small minority of the packed house that was not offended at one point during the show.
Oh, right.
Yeah, which I think really speaks highly of the content of the show.
Because a lot of religious groups would rail against something that could, on the outset, appear to mock
Right.
faith. But
Right.
is it true that the Mormons have taken their adverts in the program?
Yes,
and-
I think so. Yeah, it's very intelligent. I mean, it's smart because it's kind of tantamount to what's going on. I heard there was a documentary that was filmed, or I'm sorry, there was a feature film recently that was filmed at Disneyland, and which is highly illegal as far as Disney. Disney keeps it very tight, and it's being released. So the guerrilla style shot this on the property, and so rather than coming out against it, Disney's just going to let it happen, because obviously to come out against it would give it all this press.
Yeah.
Otherwise, now it's just going to slip under the radar. Obviously, the Mormons are smart
Yeah.
to embrace it.
Because there's a lot of, if you come out of Piccadilly Circus tube station which will take you to the theatre, there's like so many adverts for more information and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, and I mean, also the problem would be is you can't argue against it, so why try?
Yeah. I think Halloween's a night for pranking then.
You know, I never got into the
Yeah.
pranking so much.
I was into the
growing up.
candy.
Yeah, I really liked the candy as well.
Yeah.
And the free expression.
I liked dressing up as scary as I could. Actually try to scare my
people.
friends.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Who would that be?
What's that?
Who would be the scariest?
Oh, I mean, not a particular
specifically.
character, but just like see how like gruesome you could make yourself, with actually like really good makeup. And just see if you could scare, and that's not even specific to Halloween. Anytime you want to do that, it's great.
It would be scarier at any other time, I think.
Exactly.
Middle of spring.
Like Al Jurgensen said, every day is Halloween.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having
when
us.
are your plans to tour the UK?
Next year?
Next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
What season? Spring? Summer?
I would imagine spring.
Yeah.
I would imagine spring.
If I were to guess,
Cool.
Yes, which we are.
yes.
We guess spring.
Keep an eye on
Spring.
Kerrang.com for the dates as soon
Yes,
as we
we'll
get
be
them.
there.
Cool. Well, thanks for your time.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers, man.